YouTube, Coppersan here. Today we are leveling the most popular high-level thief class in the Korean server to level 200, the Dual Blader. Dual Bladers don't have a particularly interesting link skill or legion effect, but I heard from many Maplers that this is a really fun and strong class to play, plus a really good bosser. For this video I did a little bit of prep work, setting up my legion, transferring link skills. I also prepared a bit of equipment so we can train at those Star Force maps later on. Plus we will be using a Burninator to level up a lot faster until level 150. And I prepared of course a ton of other EXP buffs. Basically we're gonna power level the crap out of this class. Alright, enough with the introduction. Let's get going. Dual Bladers have some additional job advancements, but we're going to combine some of the earlier ones because we're way too busy leveling to do some silly job advancements. While Dual Blade's first job attacking skill has quite a small hitbox and is quite lackluster to be honest, the class is actually pretty amazing. Their dark side skill allows you for example to dodge monster attacks as well as the meteors in the Magnus map or the hats that are falling from the sky when you're fighting Pierre. There's also a unique upgrade for their dark side that unlocks a third job, but more about that later. Man, it only took a minute to reach level 30. I'm quite happy this no longer takes 8 hours, like I'm just rambling a bit and boom, level 30. Now we're going to do 2 job advancements and we will continue training afterwards. We gained a ton of new skills. Some cool ones are Tornado Spin and Slash Storm, which will still be useful later when you're repositioning during boss fights. They aren't the best grinding tools though, as their range is rather short compared to some of the other classes that have way bigger hitboxes on their skills. But if you want to train a Dual Blader, you're usually not in there for their awesome grinding, but for their late game bossing potential. From level 12 to level 45, I like to trade at maps in Savage Terminal. If you just want to grind, I can really recommend those spots as well. But if you're just coming back to the game, or if you're building up your character, you don't have a lot of funding, I recommend to complete the team dungeons that will be recommended to you by the game at level 30. Those are Rena Strait, Elena Ferry Academy and Gold Beach. At level 45, the second job plus job advancement unlocks, which is super nice. In fact, it is so nice that we're just gonna completely ignore it because we're way too busy grinding at Copper Sandrakes in Sleepywood so we can rush to level 60. But actually that job advancement unlocks some pretty cool skills like Venom, Flashbang and Flying Assaulter, which is also a really nice skill that allows you to reposition yourself in the air, but I don't want my EXP buffs to go to waste. Now alright, we reached level 60. Good, now we can do those other 2 job advancements. Honestly, it takes longer to do those than to do the actual leveling. It only took around 15 minutes to reach level 60. But with level 275 being the max level, I think we did about 0.01% of our journey so far. Okay, now I'm depressed. There is a lot to talk about when it comes to Dual Blader's third job skills. Blade Ascension gives you even more mobility after using it in the air, after a flash jump or double jump. Chains of Hell, which sounds like a Cadena skill, stuns monsters and give you a whooping 3 seconds of invincibility. That's pretty cool. There is Advanced Dark Side, which I briefly touched on earlier. This skill gives Dual Bladers a chance to stay in Dark Side or auto-trigger Dark Side when attacking, which will then increase your final damage when you attack with this Dark Side buff. Dual Bladers have some amazing synergy with their 5th job skill Ultimate Dark Side, which is a Thief exclusive node. There's also Life Drain, which has a chance to recover 20% of your max HP when attacking. This skill only has a 10% chance to trigger, but unlike those 10% scrolls, this one does seem to trigger pretty often. I didn't have to use a lot of potions when training, which was actually pretty nice. And finally Shadow Melt, which activates automatically upon dodging a monster attack. This skill increases your attack power and all hits will become critical for 7 seconds. That's pretty nice. By the way, if you are enjoying this Training to 200 series, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. Make sure to ring that bell notification to stay up to date when new videos are released. Alright, so we continue training at Stairway to the Sky. Now, my control of this class is actually a bit sloppy. I'm still getting used to all the mobility this class has to offer. But seriously though, if you're trying out a new class or just MapleStory in general, don't be too hard on yourself. You can play this game however you like. Don't want to combo skills together, just want to mash away at some buttons? That's fine as well, at least that's how I like to play. But Dual Bladers do have some skill synergy. For example, you can link Flying Assaulter with Bloody Storm and then use Blade Ascension and then the whole combo repeats itself. That way you can cover quite a big chunk of the map. That's usually how the main combo goes. Now that you know that there is a combo, we can just go back to randomly using Blade Ascension because that skill is just really fun to use. We're 43 minutes in and we reached level 108 and completed the 4th job advancement. This is where things are really going to get spicy. But first I want to level up a little bit more. So we go back to Leifre to stab some birds. I didn't even go to Zakum yet simply because it takes longer to go there than to reach level 120. It took a little bit, under 3 minutes, to reach level 120 here. So that's the 12 levels or 4 level ups under 3 minutes. Thanks to the Burning Field and the Star Force bonus EXP, this map trains extremely fast. It also really helps that we can one-shot the monsters already thanks to the equipment that we prepared in advance. Sometimes you might see a weird solar eclipse skill that blows up the entire map. This is actually an event skill from the Celestial event which was active when I recorded this video. This event is also giving us some additional bonus EXP though, like 10%, which is also one of the reasons of why we're leveling up just a little bit faster. I hope Zakum doesn't think he's off the hook though, because normally we're going to beat him up a bit earlier, but hey, guess where we're going next? Zakum can be defeated around level 90 if you're doing quite decent damage. I also recommend to go there once you reach level 100 and completed your 4th job advancement. Make sure to activate a rune and to go to normal Zakum. Alright, we're just doing the same except we're level 120. We're combining this rune with all our other EXP buffs that we have and we reach level 132. Don't forget that I have a Burninator active though, so that gives me another 2 additional levels every time we level up until level 150. Like, that helps a lot. We're staying in the dead mine and leveling is slowing down. We're only doing 3 level ups every minute. Man, it's getting rough now. So in 3 minutes we reach level 141. Let's go over the 4 job skills a bit. Blade Fury, which is that twirly blade skill around you, will be your main attacking skill. Yeah, it's not much. In 5th job you will get a few other nice skills that have a relatively short cooldown, but then again you want to play this class because you want to be an awesome bosser, else you can just unequip one of your daggers and become a gentle bandit. Dual bladers have an amazing skill in 4th job called Final Cut. Seriously, if you're a phantom then get this skill. This skill does 2000% damage, which is some angelic buster level damage numbers. But when using this skill you also get a 3-second invincibility frame and it will give you a 1-minute buff that increases your final damage by a whopping 40%. If you can get enough buff duration, you can have this skill active permanently. That's a free 40% final damage increase. For free, like that's really free. Mechanic Legion effect increases buff duration, so it's wise to go with that one if you're planning to main this character. Or if you like shooting missiles, then just go make a mechanic. Thanks to the skill Thorns, dual bladers have a 90% stance chance, which is super nice when bossing and pretty rare for thieves. There's also mirror target. Using this skill makes monsters focus a mirror target instead of you. It's a bit like Archer's old puppet skill. Your first hyper skill is Blade Clone, which basically makes you a 3-dagger wielder, sort of. I mean, it floats above your head, but still, it's not like you can wear a dagger in your mouth or something, right? That would be super dangerous. Anyway, this skill will make you deal extra damage when using other skills and gives you a small damage buff. That's just what we needed, more burst damage. This skill lasts 1 minute and has a 90-second cooldown. So it took 6 more minutes to reach level 150. We have now been playing for 1 hour and 3 minutes, and that's the end of our Burninator as well. So far so good though. Now at least we can equip some more Fafnir items. Now that we are a bit stronger, it's time to defeat Horntail. And we're gonna get a total of 6 levels from this boss fight, and that was a really fast boss fight to be honest. Actually this class is pretty strong. Of course I do have some equipment already, blah blah blah, but still this class is pretty good, trust me. From now on we just train until we reach level 200. Another awesome hyper skill that dual bladers get is called Asura's Anger. This skill has some deadly ninja owls circling around you really fast, killing everything in their way. It does 420% damage, which is pretty lit, and ignores 100% of the enemy defense. Not only can you move around with this skill, your character will also ignore super knockback from bosses when it's active, so it's an amazing skill for bossing as well. Honestly, this class is just made for bossing. We train at the deadly dressing tables in the Coninck Mall, and at level 167 we went to the armory in Zipangu to beat up some gangsters. It takes about 35 minutes to reach level 173, since we started attacking Horntail at level 150. Do keep in mind that I also am using those level up potions from the Legion store to get an additional 2.5 levels. And yes, of course, at level 173, MapleStory started doing MapleStory things and I disconnected. So I had to relog, losing all my EXP buffs except for my rune cooldown, of course. And thankfully also the Celestial event double EXP buff stayed active. But man, I really hate that your buffs just don't stay active when you DC, except for the ones that impact you negatively, like the rune cooldown. Oh well, at level 178.5 we use the remaining Legion potions to hit level 180 so we can go to future Parian. And here we grind until we reach level 200. I miscalculated the EXP that I would get from the Scrapyard introduction quest, so I actually had to go back again to get the final percent. But it was pretty nice. There was actually some channels where Forsaken Excavations I2 had a burning field, which was a nice surprise. Trading from level 173 to level 200 took another 1.5 hours exactly. So in total it took us around 3 hours and 3 minutes to get to level 200, which isn't too bad. But now the actual MapleStory begins, 5th job. We complete our 5th job advancement and I hope you're ready to manage some more cooldowns. The skills are totally worth it though. There is Blade Tornado, which shoots out a tornado that deals a ton of damage and also ignores 100% of the monster's defense. This skill can be used every 8 seconds, which is quite frequently, because 8 seconds is not that long. There is a Blade of Destiny, which also ignores a portion of the monster defense and attacks most monsters on the screen. And finally, Blade Tempest, which kinda works like Asura's Anger, but it does damage in front of you and also ignores 100% of the enemy's defense. Honestly, I feel like dual bladers don't really need a lot of additional ignore enemy defense because their skills just do it for them already. And that was the dual blader. What do you think of this class and which class should we do next? Let me know in the comments. As always, many thanks to our members for making this video possible. Thanks to Quin, Niels to Coninck, Raar, maar waar, Zenny, Shen125, Sebastian Hanøy, Felix, Wang, Pinky Traveler, Felix Pause, Zephyr Gaming, Terry Quin and Jiju. If you would like to be mentioned here as well and get early access to new videos, check out the join button below this video. As always, thanks for watching, stay safe and happy mapling!